Welcome to Return to Home with Michele Broxton. Today we're going to be making two of my all-time favorite things to make with our family. We're going to be making my mom's 3-layer coconut cake and I don't know whose sweet tea. I can't wait to make these recipes with you as we travel back 100 years to the way our great-grandmas used to do things over a wood stove. But you and I are going to do them right here in my farm kitchen. Now the first thing we'll do is we'll separate 5 large eggs. Now if you're shy about doing your eggs this way, just crack them and put the white in one part, and I just use the shell itself as my separator. Just like that. My mom says this recipe has a lot of steps, and she's not wrong. I love to watch her make this. If you see me make our chocolate cake and see me talk about the little swoops that she makes on her icing, this is the cake where she makes those swoops that I love to watch so much. We're just going to transfer that back and forth until we have just the yolk left, just like that. Now that we've drained our pineapple, we'll leave it here to get to room temperature along with our egg whites. Next, we'll combine our flour with our egg yolks. And we'll add in our sugar. And our baking powder. Once this is combined, we'll add in our melted butter. I'm going to add in a little coconut extract as well. Now that our egg whites are at room temperature, we're going to add those in. This is really looking delicious. Next, we'll add in our crushed pineapple. We're going to add in about half now, reserving half later as a filling. Really feeling right. Now that we've got our cake batter made, let's divide this into 3 pans and bake thoroughly. If you're looking for specific baking instructions, make sure and find us at returntohome.org. Next, we'll make our coconut mousse to go on top, our pineapple filling, and I'm going to meet you right back here to make some sweet tea while this bakes. And then we're going to ice this cake and have a wonderful afternoon. Now that our coconut 3-layer cake is in the oven, let's make some homemade sweet tea. Now there's a lot of different ways that folks make tea, and I'll show you how our family does, and we really love it. If you come to Rolla, Missouri, home of the miners, and Missouri S&T, you may stop by our market while you're here. And I know a lot of y'all come to Missouri S&T for your children to come to the summer camps. The summer camps are so wonderful. You can find more information about the summer camps on Missouri S&T's website. Now, I tend to put 4 family-sized tea bags into my boiling water pot. Now, I start from cold water. I tie my tea bags in a knot, just like that, so that I can get them out easier in the end. And I just put my tea bags right in cold water. Once the water starts to get white and foamy, I know that my tea is done. I'll meet you back right here when our tea is done. Now our sweet tea is brewing and I've got all 3 layers of our cake out and cooled. I'm so excited to make this with you. I've made the pineapple filling and also the icing that's going to go on the cake. I also have some reserve coconut, and this is sweetened, flaked, or shaved coconut, whichever you prefer, that we're going to sprinkle and pat on the outside of our cake. Now, you might not be able to see this, but I do have these little sticks that I'm going to show you that we're going to use to keep our layers in place while we're icing the cake. Let's get started. The first thing that we'll do is we'll put a layer of our pineapple filling in between the bottom and the next layer of cake. Don't be shy with this. When you pair this pineapple filling with the icing and the coconut, there's just something about it that's really wonderful. And I take it all the way to the edge. This also adds a lot of moisture to your cake. Not that this is a dry cake, but it really does nice things. That looks really nice. Perfect. Okay, next we'll put on our next layer of cake. Perfect. Now this is where our little skewers come into play. I put 2 of them together and I put right down through the cake. Like that. If you don't, sometimes your cake can get a little lopsided. And then as you move from layer to layer, just pull them out and start again. Now this pineapple does not go on the top, so feel free to use the remainder that you have in your bowl for this layer. You won't be sorry. Those skewers are really nice and small and flexible and easy to work around. If you'll notice, I'm really trying to keep the pineapple from the outside layer of my cake because I only want that to be my icing. Nice and even and wonderful. So we'll pull our skewers out and we're going to keep them because we'll use them again for this next layer. Now the top. you can see that this is really going to be a delicious cake. I put these all the way through all 3 layers to make sure that nothing slides. There, nice and sturdy. Now for the icing. Now I think I told you before that this is the icing that my mom puts on. So sweet. I just love the way she puts this icing on, and I'll show you how she does it. I first start by spreading out the icing with a spoon and distributing it evenly over the top of my cake. That tends to give me a good start. My mom, when she does this, she takes her time, she sits at the kitchen table, usually with grandkids in tow, and she doesn't get into a hurry. It's such a joy to watch family members as they do what they do best. Which for my mom, that's love on her family. I'll come back to this top once we get the sides on. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do the sides. I'll show you how my mom does it. She just takes a little bit at a time and just wipes it on, just like that, in little flakes. And so that's how we're going to do it today too. This cake takes a lot of time, and it's really made with love. What we'll do is we'll get all the icing on the sides in a nice thick coat. And then I'll show you how my mom makes her pretty little flicks all over the cake. Now that we have my mama's sweet little flick icing marks all over this cake, which is the way she loves to make it and the way we love to make it in our family, we're going to put some coconut all over this cake. It just makes it so pretty, and I think it just makes it look like an angel cake. Now you can put as much or as little coconut as you like. And for the sides, you just press it in. And that's why you don't have to get too terribly picky about what your little flick marks look like on the sides, because you're going to press coconut into them. Just like that. This cake is so yummy. We really enjoy it in our family. You just keep picking up your coconut and pressing it into the sides. Don't worry about your pan getting dirty. You can just clean that up whenever you're done. The flick marks, they look a little rough right after you finish doing your cake, but it really gives your coconut something nice to stick to. Great. Now let's make our sweet tea. Now for our tea. It's really a simple process. The first thing we're going to do if we're going to make sweet tea is, for a gallon pitcher, we'll put 2 cups of sugar in the bottom of our pitcher. Next, we'll take our boiling tea, leave the tea bags in your container, and pour the tea in. Just like that. Now, you can do a couple things at this point. You can put ice in here, or you can just fill it up with water. I typically just fill it up with water. Now that we've made my mama's coconut 3-layer cake with her little flicks on the icing and our homemade sweet tea, I hope that you've enjoyed Return to Home with Michele Broxton. If you want more information about these recipes, go to returntohome.org, or you can email me at hello@ozarkfarms.org, where we explore 100-year-old recipes right here in my farm kitchen. I hope to see you next time, and until then, see you soon.